YouTube. As you can see, I had a rough day. Basically what happened is I think I hit like a bowl or a pin to a chain, and because lots of logging trucks go down that road, so it the low tire light came on. Within 30 seconds, half mile down the road, the tire exploded. I thought it was just a nail or something. I'm like, oh, I'll just stop the stewards on the way and over-air the tire, so that way I can just deal with it after and get my catering orders done. Nope. And I had to limp it 4.5 miles to the closest garage. So what I did is Googled the closest garage. It was 4.5 miles up the road. I called them. I'm like, hey, I got a flat. Can you help me out? They're like, right now? I'm like, yes. It's a tire shop too. And for some reason, the lady seemed confused what to do. So I was like, I just need help getting my tire off because my lug nut don't fit. You know, I'll throw the spare on it for right now if you guys don't have much time. They're like, yeah, we have another appointment coming soon. We got one in here right now. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how much longer on that one? She's like, oh, like 20 minutes. It was really 25, so close enough. And they got me in, got the spare tire changed out, and they sent me on my way. But in between that, while I was waiting, I went to look for a tire out back. They didn't have one. But I was chatting with dispatch. I'm like, I don't know. What do you want me to do? I'm going to be about half hour late to everything. They're like, well, you're the only driver, and we can't rely on DoorDash. Like, we can't send these to DoorDash to rescue them. You're the only driver for these orders available in the area. I'm like, okay. I'll still do them. I think it's gonna be like, they said another 10 minutes till I can get in, so I'm gonna be at least 30 minutes, and I'm gonna start calling the doctor's office, customers I had, and try to call the restaurants and tell them the situation. Jersey Mike's, they wouldn't pick up, but it was all cold cut, so it's not a big deal. They throw it in the fridge. I was actually there on time. I made up time. I'm sorry for the road noise, guys, but I made up time, and I actually got there right when I was supposed to pick it up. I called Core Life, and I'm like, I know I said, I'm like, I am really sorry, but could you hold off on putting together the hot part of the order until 11:30? He's like, yes, no problem. I want to make sure they get their stuff. It was just a really small order for like an office of 8 people. So that one was really easy. And he had that perfectly ready. It was still nice and hot when I got there. That was the first drop off, actually, because it was the closest and the time was due first. I was perfectly on time for that, but I had to wait like 15 minutes for them to come out so I could go in the office and show them where to put it. So that put me another 15 minutes behind, and I ended up being 25 minutes late to the second one. But when I said I'd be 30 and I was only 25, I called these offices and let them know so they could take their lunches later. They said it was okay. They were happy as long as I got the food. They said they've waited hours for it before. Like, they'd had to take their lunches and just sneak eat here and there. So the customers were still happy, wished me Merry Christmas. The last one was actually very concerned. He's like, yeah, I heard you blew your tire. I'm like, yeah, and I show him. He's like, oh my God, dude, and you still came? He's like, thank you for being committed. I'm like, well, I was the only one. I had to. He's like, most people would just throw in the towel. I'm like, well, I had to do what I had to do. And basically, my long story short, the TLDR version. Too long didn't read or didn't listen. TLDL. Get a hold of dispatch and ask them what they want you to do. If they ask you if you could still possibly do the order, tell them how long you would be. And say, hey, I'm going to be this. Get a hold of the restaurants if you can. Get a hold of the customers. And let them know what the situation is. Because, I mean, blowing out a tire or getting a flat is nothing that you did. You know, it's something out of your control. It happens. It's part of a job hazard. So I am really sorry for the noise. Anyways, get a hold of dispatch through whatever app you have. Whether it be delivered, food fetched in my case, or deliver that, or Zifty, or whatever other ones you got, or going through Power Works. Get a hold of dispatch, see what they want you to do about the situation. If they ask you if you still can complete the order in a reasonable amount of time, like I said a half hour late, they said that's fine. Keep them updated on what's going on at all times. Like, okay, I'm on my way there, ETA, blah, 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 to the first restaurant. Tell them as soon as you pick up the first order, and then your ETA to the next restaurant on GPS. Hopefully you have it punched in already. And this is a great reason to have two phones, because I had two phones and I already had both GPSs up. So I had the one restaurant up on the GPS I always have in my holder, and I had the other GPS on my secondary phone. And then I did the same thing when I went to leave there. I punched in both of the addresses and punched in the close one on one up on the thing, punched the far one into the other. So keep them updated constantly. Remain calm. It is very stressful, but remaining calm and having a plan of attack and knowing the steps to take is the key. So TLDL. Get a hold of dispatch, see what they'd like you to do, take corrective steps with the restaurants, the customers, dispatch, show them a picture of a flat tire or whatever the situation is, or tell them the situation going on. Pictures, very good proof. Easy Caterers saw that and said that's an acceptable excuse. Things happen, they know that, and they were not upset with us over it. Keep calm, collected, cool. Have a plan of action. Keep updated on the steps. Though I feel like that wasted 3 extra minutes I could have had, but they'd rather you take the time to keep them updated versus leaving them in the dark, because that will upset the customer. Alright, so get a hold of dispatch. Show them what's going on and tell them what's going on. Try to get a hold of the merchants. Try to get a hold of the customers and keep them all in the loop. So for one of the offices, I had to Google their number and call them that way, and they were very understanding because the medical rep put in the wrong doctor's office's number. Oops. So it's all good. I hope you guys have a great night, make your money, and know what to do in a rough situation like this next time. Have a good day.